Okay, let's jump into our first item of the day. I want to know what you think about girls' night out, and we're going to hear what she has to think about it.
Take on a girls' night. Girls' night is not girls' night. Please stop lying. Dressing up in skimpy outfits, saying, I'm doing it for my girls. I worked hard all week. I deserve this. No, you're not. You're actually chasing outside validation and attention from men who are not your husband or your boyfriend. Let's be real. That is not empowerment. That is pure disrespect. This has nothing to do with insecurity at all. This is about respect. Respect for your man, respect for your relationship, respect for yourself. If you're fully committed, why put yourself in an environment built on alcohol, hooking up, and sexual attention? You do not go fishing where you do not intend to catch. A real girls' night, in my opinion, that is pajamas, movies, laughs, deep talks, maybe some wine, not parading around bars, clubs, or where single people are on the prowl. Call it for what it is, temptation and destruction. If you think that's innocent fun, then you do not have the first clue about loyalty. Respect is a choice, and choosing to avoid those places is how you prove where your loyalty really stands. Here's my hot take on a girls' night.
What is your hot take on a girls' night out? What is happening there? Well, I submit to you, there's a lot of similarity. It's a consequence of something, a lot of similarity between a girls' night out and a man cave. You're like, how does that even connect? Well, it tracks. If you know what you're talking about, it tracks. Unless you're one of those guys and you wanted a space in the house that is just extravagantly something, extravagantly World War II. So you're not going to fill the house with images of howitzers and Zeros and Mustangs and hurricanes and all the rest. So you wanted to have a room dedicated to that. Okay, that, and you wanted to call that your man. But most of us know what a man cave is in most cases, and that is a room, often in the basement, sometimes the whole of the basement, but sometimes not even the whole of the if there's a basement in the house, where a man is allowed to put up something that he enjoys. He's allowed to decorate the way he would like. And then the rest of the home is decorated the way she wants it because she's the boss. And ultimately, that's where the girls' night comes from. The girls' night comes from this female empowerment that's a consequence of anti-whiteism. What is meant by a girls' night out? Well, of course, this woman here, whatever her name is, what is it? Is it Lori? Lauren. She mentions an alternative definition where all the girls maybe go over to one of the houses. I would presume that she would say the only suitable home would be the home of another married female. And while there, they watch movies. They're in their lounging wear. They're not dressed to the nines, dressed to the sluts. They're talking. Maybe they're crying some. They're eating marshmallows. I don't know. Becoming marshmallows. So what we're talking about, though, when it comes to the girls' night out is what she originally stated. It's when a married girl, married woman, or in a relationship with a guy otherwise, boyfriend, girlfriend, maybe even fiance, and she decides she's going to go out on a night on the town and she's going to dress up and put the makeup on, do the hair just right. They're going to go out to a bar. They're going to probably drink, and they're going to be flirting with guys the whole time. And very often, of course, they're having sex with these guys. This is a consequence of the disempowerment of white males and the empowerment of white females beyond the reality that they already wield more power and that we had systems in place just as a consequence of a male's desire to mate being higher than her desire, his spectrum being broad, her spectrum being super narrow when it comes to the choice of mate. It's a consequence that a female has more power in the relationship than do men. And we tried to correct this with norms so that we could have happy, functional families. All of those white norms have been destroyed by anti-whiteism under various names of anti-whiteism, destroyed. And now the empowerment of females is so is stupefyingly gross that they can literally say to the male in the relationship, I'm going out to hook up tonight. I'm going out to engage in the exact same behavior that I was probably engaged in when we found each other and hooked up. I'm going to go do that exact same thing in some part of town. And what is the response? Well, Lauren here mentions this defense that it's an attack. And it's so typical of the specious, the sophistical, the double standard, duplicitous type of arguments that so many women make on a regular basis. Nothing is straightforward. Nothing is just straightforward and honest for the vast majority of females. No, there's always some sort of duplicity, always some sort of rewriting of the context, always some sort of gaslighting. I mean, gaslighting extraordinaire. They're masters of the gaslight. And what do? They tell the guy that he's insecure if he has a problem with her going out and screwing other men and other various forms of sexual contact, as though she would be fine with him merely ogling another woman. If she sees him, we have this trope in the West where if the guy is with his girl and he sees a beautiful woman walk by the way, he knows he can't have her. By the way, he's just having a look. And she like hits him for that. She can't even stand that. Oh, but he better be okay with her going out and flopping down on her knees or jumping up on the hood of some car or blowing kisses at some guy out and about in town. That's got to be okay. He's insecure. Well, as is so typical the case with people who are duplicitous and underhanded, gaslighting, intellectually dishonest arguers, women in these scenarios are projecting. They are the ones who are insecure. They are the ones who want to go out on a night on the town because they want men to validate them. They want men to say, you're hot, you're good looking, I'm checking you out. And that's how they get their pats on the head. Girls' nights, I wonder for the future, are they going to diminish in number? Are they going to occur less often? Why? Not because white women have suddenly decided to go correct instead of wrong, but because they can get all this validation online now, far more than they can get at the local bars, the local pubs, walking up and down town. And they can do so with these very narrow headshots. They won't have to worry about the Michelin Man pounds that they're putting on. They can just get that headshot, and they're going to have tons of guys that are going to be like, let me pat you on the head. You're looking so hot, honey. I could take care of you so much better than he could. I could do for you like you wouldn't believe. You just come on up here to the Bronx, and we'll get together. We'll go down to the pizzeria, and we'll get robbed. Yeah, we'll get robbed. But, I mean, it's going to be a hell of a night, okay? So that's what's actually happening. The man cave, you can decorate in here. You can have, I can decorate, hit the road. So the real question is, what happens if a woman you're with decides she wants to go on the girls' night out? What do? You just give one chance. No. You can have these women come over here. You all can watch a rom-com and eat Haagen-Dazs, and you could do all that shit right here. and you don't have to get all painted up and go out on the town where they're going to be. And it's so obvious, guys. I mean, come on, wake up. She's lying to you. They're heading out. They're going to bars where they can find the youngest guys that will hit anything. That's what a cougar is, by the way. Pornography has tried to turn the cougar phenomenon into something sexy. No, the reality is that it's a used up female, a washed up female that paints herself up and puts on the smallest, sluttiest clothes she can find, goes out on the town and gets in the eyesight of guys who will just, that it doesn't matter to them. They're going to be like, I will get into that for the next 2.5 minutes. And then I'm gonna come back to my buddies, the next day or whatever, and don't care about her. Don't care. He's got his 2.5 minutes. He's ready to splurge somewhere. He'll take anything. And then these women, they get to feel like, I still have it. I still got it. And we just watched this female on the quick news where she's talking about, and there are a bunch of these videos where these women, they're getting older and they're like, I'm getting invisible. I'm discovering I'm invisible now. That's what the girls' nights are meant to alleviate. That consequence of there always being more 20-something girls out there. You see, ladies, you have this moment of prime for your sexual market value. And then it diminishes pretty quickly. So you better use it wisely. You better build other talents as well, value in other areas, because that aura of being super fertile, the fitness, the tightness of the body and everything, that goes quickly, really quickly. So not for every single one, but for a lot. So you got to build value elsewhere. But for you guys out there, when they show up and they want to start doing it's just an innocent night out. We're just going to go do X, Y, or Z. We're just going to go to this. It's just going to be an innocent thing. And we're just going to go have some, I love those wings. And so we're just going to go have, well, then I'm coming. You say no. And if she still wants to do it, you say goodbye. That's how you respond. Sayonara. Auf Wiedersehen. Arrivederci. That's what you say. Ciao. That's what you say. And you walk off. That's the only power you have. We literally are living in a period in history when the white race recaptures our destiny. We look back, they are going to marvel that we lived at a time and it seemed normal, where the woman in the relationship could say, I'm going to go out and screw other guys, and you have so little power and so little honor that you're just going to sit here at home. You're just going to sit at home and suck it up. Let me tell you what else. You want to, she says like, oh, she's talking with her girlfriends about, they're going to have a girls' trip. Not only should you run, not only should you no talking. Don't talking. No, you're not going to do that. No. If that thought can occur, it's bad. If she's planning, they're going on a trip. They're going to go, we're going to go out of town for just a couple of days. We're going to go on a cruise. We're going to go fly to another. Just start packing. Maybe it's her shit and you throw it out the window. But whatever it is, start packing. I've seen now online, I mean, you hear about these cases, you see it all the time, of them being caught. One, about a year ago, I saw the woman and her friends went on a girls' trip to Jamaica, a white woman, to Jamaica. She came back with AIDS, by her own words. So, no, it's over at that point. Guys, don't put up with it. Do not put up with it. You have to walk. The insecurity is on her side. So when she invariably pulls out that argument, you don't trust me. You're insecure. All of these arguments meant to deflect from the actual subject, you throw it all right back at her, the exact same words, because that's what it's all about. It's all about her insecurity, her infidelity, which is disgusting. All right, just disgusting. My God. But all about that, nothing about you. What are your thoughts on girls' night out? Maybe they should only be girls get together at one of the married guys' houses during the day. Maybe that's what it should be about. Why does it seem that there could possibly be a double standard? Maybe the guy wants to go out, they're going to go bowl, or they're going to go play darts, or they're going to go play pool. Why does there seem like a double standard there? Because the person who would argue that there's a double standard is a liar. That's why. We all know the reality. Unless you're dating either somebody you know to be an absolute rake and scoundrel who would go out on the town and would have sex with, would breed with just the grossest thing that he could find, then your man is going to have to be one of the top 15 or 10% prettiest faces, because the rest of us, invisible. We could leave for years and we would still be alone. So don't bullshit. We're not taking it no more. We are not taking it anymore. We could leave for years and still be without another mate. But a girl, they can go out to the local college bar and in 5 minutes be bent over. So there is no double standard. It's an acceptance of reality. If you really just want to have some fun with your girlfriends, bring them over during the day. Make your own nacho dish. That can be fun. And if you don't like that, order Grubhub, get a movie, hang out in the living room. You know, better yet, hang out in the woman cave. Now, obviously, maybe you're with a woman who has excellent taste, and what she recommends for decor is something that you're good with. You know, maybe it's very neutral, maybe it's very adult, maybe it's very, professional, mature. It's very mature. And you want her to make those decisions, in, so be it. She's got a great aesthetic, then so be it. That doesn't mean that you can't add your touches, of course. But saying that there shouldn't have to be a man cave doesn't mean that you don't allow the female you're in a relationship with to play a role in decorating the home or space, the apartment, the condo, etc. This woman should be lauded for being a real Aryan woman in 2020. I don't know that she would consider herself that, but she definitely has we could call it a white positive position, because she's revealing, sharing the reality about a practice that is, whether she would call it or not, is anti-white, a practice that destroys relationships routinely. So, yeah. She's definitely speaking the truth.